It's the real Black Sabbath, as Jackal in the chat room puts it, with Super Not Black Sabbath, man.
Yeah, man. None of that Dio shit.
Yeah. Yeah, pal. With Jackal being such a purist.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a fan of the band Journey.
I'm sure he's not.
Well, if he was.
Sure, he would never admit it, even if he was.
Well, you have to wonder if he longs for the Robert Fleischman days. It's not the real Journey without Robert Fleischman, man.
Yeah, man.
Steve Perry was a hack, man.
No Robert Fleischman, no Journey, man.
No Greg Raleigh, no Journey, man.
Fuck that Jonathan Cain. He ruined Journey, man.
Yeah, he came from some faggot band. I use faggot. He came from a faggot band called The Babies, man.
Yeah, Jonathan Cain, bitch.
Yeah. He can take his keyboard and stick it up his ass, man, because Greg Raleigh ruled.
Yeah, and take that Jap with him.
So you got some Ozzy story for us?
Well, just a little thing, man. Not this last weekend, but last weekend. Not this weekend, but the weekend before when Ron was here, I had to rent a car, and I rented a car for the weekend, and it had XM in it. So I was listening to XM for the first time in a while, but of course they had all the good channels blocked out.
Yeah, of course, because it's not the premium. It's not the premium service. You don't get Stern and you don't get Opie and Jim.
Yeah, none of that. No, not even the comedy channel.
Yeah, well, that's the premium.
Oh, well, I got the bare bones basic. But the one station I did get was Ozzy's Boneyard.
Okay.
Now, with Ozzy's Boneyard, they were doing a special over the Memorial Day weekend for Ozzy's greatest guitar players or something, or the guys that he thinks are the greatest guitar players.
Who?
Ozzy.
Oh, Ozzy. Ozzy handpicked these guys?
In theory.
Okay, all right. In his name, they picked him.
Well, no, he actually did spots. He actually did commercials. That's what I was going. Every single time they played the commercials, one, you could tell that they were edited. This is how bad it was. They literally had to be edited together word for word because Ozzy could not do like a whole line at a time.
Okay.
And every time it came on, my son was like, "Is he ever not drunk?" Just every single time he's like, "These are the greatest guitarists I've ever seen." It just sounded all fucked up, and the edits were bad. And I was like, isn't this a multi-billion-dollar company? Isn't SiriusXM have money?
Well, supposedly.
Well, they have enough money to throw it around at Howard Stern. You'd think they could spend $1 or $2 to hire some.
They could hire Wheezy.
Wheezy's production 5,000 times better than what I was hearing.
Wheezy productions are the best.
This was embarrassingly bad. This was, if you were working at a college station, you'd fail. It was that bad, and I get it. Ozzy's difficult probably anyway to work with, but this was horrible. And it was the combination of bad editing, and then when Ozzy was telling his stories about whatever guitar player, he just sounded all fucked up. Like he'd be like, "Hey, Tony," and you don't know what the fuck he's saying.
You got to wonder how much of that is put on, or if that's for real.
Man, I don't know.
Because it's almost as if he's got a reputation now of just being kind of fucky.
Yeah.
And that's what people expect. So he's got to like play that side up.
Maybe. Because I mean, and again, this was a lot of years ago at this point, but the one time I met Ozzy, which was in 1997, I guess it would have been.
I met Ozzy briefly as well.
You know, he seemed all right. I mean, he was nice. I mean, he was a little out of it. It was very clear that he was stoned. But, I mean, he didn't sound like a fucking retard. You know, I met Vinnie Paul introduced me to him. And he's like, Ozzy, this is our friend, blah, 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 blah. And Ozzy was like, hey, how you doing? You know, and I mean, he had the English accent, but he wasn't a slurring dickhead.
Well, you got to wonder if that MTV, you know, the Osbournes, if they didn't play that angle up, and now he's like stuck with it.
Well, it could very well be.
Because I'm thinking that's a lot of that is put on.
Think so?
I think so.
It might be.
It's like people expect it now.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, all right, enough. And here's another thing. Why does Sharon get a voice? They were doing Ozzy presents the top guitarists of his life or whatever. And with every stupid thing, Ozzy'd go, and then they would cut over to Sharon going, well, I really like Tony too.
Well, because they're one and the same.
Yeah, but they're not. But they're not. We all hate Sharon.
Yeah, I know.
Universally, is there anybody that was a fan of Ozzy's music that likes Sharon? Do you think there's anybody?
No, of course not.
Everybody hates her. She's a cunt. Just a fucking ragweed cunt.
Ragweed. Well, again, I mean, she obviously has a big part in the Ozzy corporation.
Yeah, and that's great. But that has nothing to do with who Ozzy feels are the greatest guitar. Dude, if I have no idea if this guy's married or not, but if Bruce Dickinson was doing the best vocalist of all time, would you want to hear from his girlfriend or wife?
No, but I've experienced that, dude. That caused me a problem in a relationship I had.
What? Not giving a chick a say?
Yes.
How?
Well, I was involved with somebody. I'm not even going to get into whom and where.
That's fine.
But I had a girl when I first started getting T-shirts for the fans.
Okay.
I had the first run of T-shirts.
Yeah.
And I had a girl that you're aware of model them. Because
I know who that is.
Yeah. And yes.
Nikki Storm.
Yes.
Yeah. I know who that is. We could say her name.
Well, again, but I didn't even want to get into semantics.
Oh, okay.
But regardless of that was a problem.
Her modeling the shirts was a problem.
Yes. Why didn't you ask me to do that?
Yeah, well, maybe because you look like you ate her.
That's not true. It's just I
don't even know who the girlfriend is. Let's be clear here in case it's one of the many that listen.
No, yeah.
I don't know who the girlfriend is. I just remember Nikki from the day.
Yes.
Because Nikki did the website before.
It was Andy
Storm, yeah.
Right.
Nikki.
You know,
I don't even remember her name.
Right. And she said, I could just model these. We could take a few pictures. I'll put them up on the website, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, all right, let's knock this out real quick.
Right.
And we did.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, well, why her? Why not me? Why did you do that? It's like, because this is my private entity. That's why. And I can do this however I feel like doing it.
And really, do they really want the truth? They don't want the truth. That girl would have been shattered if you would have said, well, really, it's because she's hotter than you.
Well,
she'll sell more shirts.
But to be honest with you, that wasn't even the thought at the time.
No, I'm not saying that was the thought, but that is the truth. I don't even know which girlfriend it is, but Andy, short of God, I can't think of anybody's name tonight. The one that got all tatted up.
Yeah, Gina.
Short of Gina, Andy was about the hottest girl you've ever introduced me to. I'm not saying you ever dated her or anything. I'm just saying Andy was goddamn hot.
She was.
And by comparison, almost any girl that you would have been dating, not as hot.
True.
So if you would have come to her with the reel, and the reel would have been, I'll sell more shirts with this hot ass chick than you, she would be like, fuck you, you fucking asshole. You could just go be with her if that's what you think.
And that's almost what it came down to too. And it was just like, this is not what this is about. This is just my enterprise.
Yeah.
This isn't a competition. This isn't who's greater than who, or how come I'm not involved, and blah blah blah. It's just because I pick and choose what I think is best for my enterprise.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not personal, it's not emotional. Nothing involved there. It's just what's best for what I see fit.
Yeah. But instead she had to turn it into a vanity issue.
Yeah, of course it became an issue.
Yeah. So how did you solve the issue?
It didn't get solved. I just stood my ground and said what I said, and that was the end of it.
The answer? Fuck you.
Yeah, basically, that's it. It's just like, I did this because this is what I felt was the thing I needed to do at the time.
Right. Wow.